Hello everyone and welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm still on my crusty eyelid era, so no eye makeup today, but we are doing a reaction video. If you see anything online that you find questionable in terms of makeup, do go ahead and tag me on TikTok or Instagram. Give this video a thumbs up. Give me a follow. Subscribe, whatever it's called. And leave a comment. If you don't know what to comment, just comment algorithm. I've been tagged in these videos a lot. And it's not as crazy as you would think, right? I think people think because it's lipstick and it's been used in various places, cheeks, eyes, lips, not lips because it's lipstick, chin. Obviously you have to be careful around the eyes with pigmentation in lipsticks, but it's not that crazy. It's a very common practice amongst a lot of people, professional and non-professionals, to multi-use products in different areas. On the nose and the cheeks, it looks absolutely fine. It gives more of a bronze effect to the skin. I actually just filmed a reel being like, it's not that deep. It's not that unusual to do. The benefits of doing this is it's just going to give you more of a monochromatic look. So cheeks are going to be nice and flush with the same color as your lip. You're going to have a little bit of blush on the nose that's like a flush of the cheeks. Same with the eyes, with a little flick on the outside corner in the same tone. It's going to look beautiful. It's it's a really nice way to do a no makeup look, but still add structure and definition to certain areas of your face.
Baby girl, I am so sorry to tell you this, but if you are still applying your blushes like this, then you are doing it wrong. If you want to look basic and two-dimensional, then sure, you do you, boo. Go ahead and scroll. But if you want to look like the ultimate, most glowy goddess to ever step foot on earth, welcome baby girlies to how to apply your blush the right way. Listen, I learned this technique on TikTok and it completely changed my life. Basically, you take 1, 2, 3 types of blushes. One is going to be darker than your skin tone. This is your contouring blush. One is your usual everyday blush. This is going to be your coloring blush, and one is going to be a very light powder blush. This will be your highlighting blush. You basically want to create a beautiful 3D gradient of color from the darkest shade to the lightest shade. Contouring, coloring, highlighting, blush. Capiche? Let's go. Now listen, don't directly apply the blush on the face. No! Start with the contouring blush. Put some on your hand. Spray some setting mist. Take a brush. Dab it on the brush. And then use it to contour your cheekbones. Look at how snatched that is! I like to use it to contour my nose too. Face contoured. Yeah. Next, take the coloring blush. Do the exact same thing. Blend on your hands. And then place it on top of your contouring blush. That is so gorgeous! Other side. Oh my god. Now, I know what you're gonna say. Oh, it looks kind of crazy though. Girl, we are getting there. Trust the process. We are going to tidy it up with a concealer in these areas. Put some here, put some here. Concealer here. Got it? Blend. Now we're going to take a setting powder and we're gonna bake that shit. Even out the setting powder on the lid. Tap in the same areas that we put concealer on. Tap. Wait for 2 minutes and then take your highlighting powder blush and place it on the highest point of your cheekbones. And then blend it upwards until here. Look at how gorgeous that looks. Doing the same on the other side. And lastly, add some highlighter. Glitter. Sparkle. Oh, and I forgot to mention, you can just take the highlighting blush and also put it here. And that's it. Congratulations. You will literally look like you're glowing from the inside. Try it out and thank me later. Okay, I love you always. Bye.
I don't know why she said that looked crazy at any point because it really didn't look crazy. That's a great way to do blush. If any of you have been with me a long time, you may have seen me mention 3D highlighting and contouring, where if you're 3D contouring, you start with a lighter shade of contour, almost where you would apply bronzer, but as a contour shade, and then get a darker shade of contour and concentrate that on the places you really want to accentuate the depth of bone structure. And then 3D highlighting is using like your normal skin tone highlight, and then using a super, super light one in dots in the areas you want to capture the light excessively. So it does add depth and dimension to your face. With matte products, right? With creams, they're often going to catch the light anyway, so you don't need to worry about using 3 different shades. I mean, it's great if you have the time. It's a great technique, absolutely. But your face is never going to look 2D with a cream product because it captures light. And when something captures a light, it gives depth and dimension and height to the face in certain lighting situations. Not against it. Not necessary, but absolutely not against it. And it looked great afterwards too.
The beauty industry has been lying to everyone, and I have had enough. This is not how you color correct. It's not even close. So if you've tried to color correct before and you've miserably failed, I'm going to show you how to do it correctly. And the first question you want to ask yourself is, what are we actually color correcting? So everything on our color wheel, opposites are going to cancel and neutralize. If you have rosacea, acne, or acne scarring, it's likely that you have a lot of redness. So to neutralize that redness, we need to use a color that is directly opposite, so green. Maybe you have dark under eye circles or pigmentation, and they'll be sitting in this blue-purple area. So to neutralize those, we need to go for something more in the orange family. The next step is to ask, which depth of color do you need? The biggest mistake I see when people try to color correct is going straight for the bright orange corrector. And all that does is replace the purple under your eyes with orange, which you then need to try and correct with concealer, and you end up with way too many layers on the skin. So you want to pick a color corrector that matches the depth of color of your skin. These are the new 4-in-1 color correctors from MCO Beauty. So for my super, super pale gals, think Kat Von D, you want to go for the shade pink. It's very, very light, but it's going to match your complexion perfectly. Now for my light skin tones, you want to go for the shade peach. This is the shade that I would use. As you can see, it's a lot closer to the depth of my complexion. And for medium and deep skin tones, you want to go for the shade orange. It's a bit deeper in color and it's going to match your skin tone more accurately. And of course for redness, you want to use a green color corrector. The next big mistake that people do with color corrector is applying it directly to the face. Color corrector is not a concealer. It's not there to conceal all your spots and your pigmentation and your darkness. It's there to neutralize that color so that your concealer doesn't have to work as hard. So to cancel my redness, I'm taking some of this green on the back of my hand, and I'm also taking a touch of concealer. And then taking a little shader brush and creating a bit of a concoction. And so now our color looks like this. It's a green, more share tinted concealer. Taking that brush, I'm going to start tapping that color onto my spots. You want the least amount of product possible. And then let's do this big section over here. And we're just really softly patting that into the skin. And look at the difference a really sheer amount of product has done to my face. Now let's do the same for the under eyes. Taking a bit on the back of my hand and mixing it in with my concealer. After I've mixed that, I'm wiping the excess on the back of my hand because we do not want a lot of product on the brush. And tapping that into my under eye. It's so important to remember that the point of color correcting is so that you can use lots of light layers. This means we can keep our makeup looking super natural, less cakey, less heavy, and just more flawless. You can see how even and balanced my skin is looking. I genuinely don't even think I need to go in with a foundation now. I've gone ahead and applied the rest of my makeup. I'm not wearing any foundation. I didn't add any extra concealer. It's just these 4-in-1 color correctors, my bronzer, my blush, my highlight, a bit of setting powder. Incredible.
Looks great. Color, exactly what she said. Like that's such a good educational video. I loved that with everything in me. Color correction isn't coverage, right? Like the images displayed in the background, that kind of came into trend because of social media. No one color corrects like that. You will not see a professional makeup artist color correct like that. But however, it is a good educational kind of like, these are the undertones you need. So when we're looking at these bright greens, the purples, the bright orange, the bright yellow, we're thinking about that's using that as an undertone to add to our products. So you can absolutely use it by itself on the skin. But for example, when you use a green color corrector just by itself right onto a pimple, right onto redness, right onto rosacea, you'll find when you blend it out, it kind of just goes to like this pastel white almost. mixing it in with your concealer like that, if you want to, is a beautiful way to change your normal concealer to have the undertone, a slight undertone of green that's barely visible, to color correct. And same with under the eyes. A lot of the time, a lot of people, I see you messaging me and, you know, being like, my under eyes are so dark, and they're not. And you just have like a bit of redness under the eye, which by the way, isn't dark under eyes. It's not like that bluey tone. Yeah, you don't need to go that heavy. And like was mentioned in a video, when you start to use these heavy, bold colors, color correct, and you do bright orange under the eye, so you've cancelled out the dark blue, but now you have to cancel out that orange as well. Also as well, I created a TikTok ages ago when I first started on TikTok, and I was talking about how red can also neutralize or cancel out blue, and a lot of people are like, no, it can't. It can. It's called color blocking. So yes, you can do something with this orange or a red that will neutralize blue or color block the blue. That's why you see people with dark eyebrows, they'll often use red to, if they're fading out, what's it called? Blocking out their eyebrows. Drag queens, for example, will glue them down and then use like an orange or a pure red to block out dark eyebrows. It's called color blocking. So that's in really extreme cases, but not your very not so dark under eyes. This is a good one. We're having a good day. There's no way any of that blended with ice. Impossible. Impossible. I'm sorry, no. Applied with ice, blended in with a brush is that water texture, that constantly melting water is never going to blend your foundation properly. It will never happen to this look. Unless close up, it was terrible. Never going to happen ever. And there's also no benefit to it also. I think this person's just doing it for fun, but that is not the finished result.
I'm sorry, you want me to do what? Do your makeup with ice cubes? You know what? No, I will not be doing that. I swear, the things that you guys get me to do. Okay, let's pop one out. Oh, it's so cold. I don't know how to even keep this in my hand. Okay, here we go. Stop. Freezing. I think it's literally freezing my foundation onto my face. I'm getting brain freeze, but like everywhere. It's literally melting on my face. It's not looking good. Okay, let's move on to our concealer. There is no way that I'm gonna look normal at the end of this challenge. I'm scared. I don't want to do it. Oh, that actually kind of feels nice. Did it make any difference? I feel like it's making no difference. The more I apply pressure, the colder it gets and the more it melts onto my face. I am in pain. What do we think? Are we looking cute? My top is literally drenched. Let's move on to contour. I wonder if I'm gonna break out from this.
I had to show you that because there's no way in hell that it's literally gonna slip and slide around everywhere. It's gonna be awful. Okay, let's have a look at the last one. That looks great, but I feel like there's a lot of people that like use their finger as a guide. You don't need to. I mean, is it fine to do that? Yeah, fine. It's kind of old-fashioned though to create that line from the top of your ear to the corner of your mouth. It looks nice though, but they just use less product. A lot of people put a lot of focus on blush placement, where it's not really so much about the placement, it's the amount of product you use. We saw on this one, they use quite a lot on the first side and then minimal amounts on the other side in good positioning, and it looks a lot better. So if you are having a bit, you can really apply your blush any way you want. There's some basic rules, of course, but if you fancy doing it up here one day, fine. If you fancy doing it here one day, fine. Of course, there's rules for if you want your face to look longer, rounder, whatever, but the amount of product you use also plays a huge part within that too. All right, thank you so much for joining me. Do give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye.